We're going to make you a
Hello.
CEO early.
Yes, a whole bunch of CEOs here. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Business Breakfast Chat. This morning, we'll be continuing with our weekly topic. And to start, since it's Friday, I'd like to ask everyone who would like to share a win or a struggle or some experience from this week that they had. And who would like to start? Carla.
Carla?
Hi, my name is Carla. I'm a certified brain health coach. I get your brain working right for you and not against you.
And do you have a win or something to share from this week?
The win is just realizing how many podcasts I'm going to be on this next fall. So I've got a lot of work to do, but that is really exciting. I am finally getting exposure that I have been wanting for so long. So I think that's a humongous win for me this week.
Awesome, that is. Who else would like to share a win, a struggle, something that happened this week?
I can do.
Lynn-Marie?
Hi, everyone. My name is Lynn-Marie Germain. I am the CEO of LMG Coach en Communication. So my work is, there's different, I have different roles, but I'm helping people, leaders, for one. I'm helping leaders to communicate the way they can have more impact, and then they can reach their goal and have prosperity. And also I am in a company, and I'm also in that company. I'm training leaders so they can have success with this company.
And so
my win, yeah. It seems like with Carla. Okay, that's it. Okay. Okay, my win. Well, I begin. I am a person who coach people, and I really enjoy being coached too. So I begin a new coaching yesterday. Somebody coached me, and I'm very excited about it, because I guess that I cannot help others if I'm not coachable myself. So this is my win. And I have potentially new clients who also, I talk to people this week, but I will see next week, or I don't know when people will be ready to be coached too.
Great. So who's next? Let's see, Jennifer.
Good morning. My name is, good morning, everybody. My name is Jennifer Lundquist, and I'm multi-passion entrepreneur. And one of my passions is cooking and bringing fun and clean eating to the kitchen, bringing a little bit of joy to the process. And I do that through hosting cooking classes online. So it's like a TV show. And I have great joy in doing that. It's probably something that I've wanted to do before actually being a cooking consultant. So so I bring joy into the kitchen. And I must say probably my win for this week, and let's hope it can continue, is hosting cooking classes at least once a week, of my own cooking classes, with people I don't even know, people I've met on LinkedIn. So it doesn't matter who shows up. It doesn't matter if it's one person or if it's 6 people I've invited. They've also, they're interested. So I've been doing this consistently. So that's a win for me.
Awesome. Would Kareem or Rina like to go next? Is there something you'd like to share?
Yeah. My name is Kareem. I help people to succeed, to get a good health and financial good health too. And this week my goal was to speak English, and I improved that. And I help some people in my community to start with the natural products to get more energy. And yeah, this was my goal this week.
Great. And we had a great interview with you as well. So that was awesome. Another video to watch if you haven't seen it yet. So I can share next, and then I'll pass it over to Imie, and then she can have us talk about the topic for today as well. So I'm Charlotte Habegger. I am a multi-entrepreneur, and I help connect women and communities so that you can achieve your life projects, grow your business, whether locally or globally. And my win for this week is I actually sold for the very first time, in spite of my multi-entrepreneurship, it's the first time that I actually sell a product of my own this week, a digital product. It's a course. We'll talk about it perhaps later in the call. And actually someone on this call, Lynn Marie, is the first person to ever buy from me an actual product that I created myself.
Hey.
Yeah.
So very excited to have someone who registered for my course. And it's actually a collaborative course. So it's based on lots of things I learned from other people, but that's my win from this week. And I'm very, very excited about that. So I'll pass it over to Imie, you can share as well, and then start us on the topic for today's.
Wow, it's awesome. Awesome, everybody. That's a lot of wins. And I think Rena is cooking, so she won't be able to come up. But my name is Imie Belanger, and I am your sales coach and trainer. I also created a new program called She CEO, just to program to bring self-employed, self-entrepreneurs, solopreneurs to become their own CEO and be in charge of their life and business. And listening to your wins today, I have a win to share because we're actually expanding. I've been getting a lot of interest from other areas and other people, and it is because of all the things that we've been consistently doing, the calls, the interviews, and just expanding our social network. So I have another request for an interview for myself. So and like Carla, I think we're like expanding, and hopefully if we are consistent on this, we are going to meet more people and collaborate with more people outside our own little group. So that's the whole idea. Now, this week, we've gone over a lot of things regarding social media, prospecting, and particularly, we went in depth on how to really connect and engage and being present. A couple of days ago, I mentioned about the fact that you really need to connect, because when you're not connected, you're disengaged and you're disconnected. When you're not in communication, you're out of communication. Now, to tie it all in, I want to talk about the missed opportunities when we're not fully engaged. And I had an experience that I want to share a couple of years ago. My best friend asked Dennis, what exactly does Imie do? And I was a bit shocked because she's my best friend and I talk to her all the time. And, I talked to her about my business, et cetera, and she talked to me about her business. So for her to ask my husband, what is it that I do? I kind of like, what? That's like, I was annoyed and insulted, but I took a deep breath and like really think, okay, so what can I take responsibility on this? How can I take responsibility? What did I miss? So I started to roll back the conversations that I've had with this person. And I realized that our conversation has been platonic. It wasn't really like, I didn't really sit down and say, hey, darling, this is what I do. Can I help you? I didn't pitch. I didn't find out what kind of thing she needs. I didn't pitch. I just assumed that, because I've been talking about my business, she would take that as a pitch. You see, and it's an incorrect assumption when we do that, because when you don't really engage in that moment and really do put on that sales hat and say, look, I heard you give me this. I heard you're talking about this. Is there a way, if I can help you do this, would you be my client? Could I work with you? Would you like to work with me? We just assume that when we keep talking and talking, they will get to what we offer. And it is an incorrect assumption. Over and over, I hear, and I've been coaching a lot of people, and I hear this all the time. They miss opportunities and they get upset because, like, my girlfriend just signed up with somebody else. And hello, I've been doing this for a while. Why isn't she signing up with me? Right?
Mhm.
I have another family member who's been going to the same spa and trying to get that person to carry her stuff. She even gave samples, right? And then she found out the person signed up with another person, the same company. It's like, what the heck? But so I asked her, so did you actually pitch? Did you actually ask? Did you actually do a presentation? Like, no. Well, she knows what I do. Well, that's not the same thing. That's not the same thing. And the same thing when we engage in social media. Just because we're engaging and we're building relationship, if we do not pitch and we do not take that relationship building further and make that pitch, nothing is going to happen. You don't really expect the person to say, hey, I want to join your club. I want to join your business. Even if you keep talking about your business, you actually need to look at the person, choose the person, because you need to choose that person, and have that sales conversation and really connect. Because we feel like we connect with a lot of people. And to some degree, we may have connected, but it is a different conversation when you talk one-on-one and have that connection and say, hey, tell me what problem are you trying to solve, so I want to see if I can help you. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Like really that kind of conversation where you got all the information. You know, in the master class that I teach, we talk about gathering all the informations that you need. So throughout all your connections and build relationship building, you get all the information. Now you need to take it further, because what happens, and I see it often, I see this all the time, is we do all the heavy lifting of connecting, engaging, making relationship, building relationship, yada, 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 yada. But we don't, and then we leave. It's like, oh, this is not working. We need to go somewhere else. We need to go find another person. But we're at that point when you actually need to pitch. You need to actually sit down and say, hey, do you have a moment? I'd like to talk to you about what I do and see if I can help you in any way. You got to take that. Does that make sense? I don't want to just keep talking. So what do you guys think about that?
I wanted to say, Imie, I love that, because it still brings to mind that probably there is still a fear of putting that hat on. We feel really comfortable talking vaguely. Oh yeah, I do this, I do this cooking show, I do this. And so it's ringing clear to me with some of the people I've done cooking classes for, having the conversation, you know, just don't dance around it. Just say, hi, so after this presentation, you know, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, just going right to the point instead of, because then it looks sort of like we're doing the elephant in the room kind of a thing. You know, and then you wonder, well, how come they didn't say anything about the elephant? Well, you never said anything about the elephant. That's why. You know, why are they supposed to assume that you didn't say anything about it either? So yes, that was wonderful. Thank you for it's always important to rehear that, Imie. You have to keep bringing that up, you know, because it's easy to forget. I think it's because of the denial that we have to go there, that we have to have the conversation. So thank you for that. That rings true for me anyway.
Excellent. It is a fear. Sometimes the assumption, there's two things that happens, is that we assume they get it. And the fear. And sometimes that fear is just in our head. There is no fear. Like they're waiting for like, okay, when is she gonna ask me? When is she gonna ask me? It's like they're kind of going in there, but when you don't make the first move, they're waiting for you. Oftentimes, I talk to people that are selling me service, and it's like, okay, talk to me on Monday because my plate is full right now. Talk to me on Monday, and they never get back to me.
Mm-hmm.
So, any other thoughts?
That's one point that when Imie and I were talking about this, because it came from our conversations in the calls, is the part of clarity as well. So there may be fear, but there's also, if we're not clear on what we're doing or why, and if there's a lack of clarity in the conversation, there's a lack of clarity perhaps in ourselves. Where it is something to discover. And one thing that does happen, I know I've had that happen to me. If I did it pitch to a friend or someone I knew or a long-term customer, they just suppose that maybe I didn't think they were good enough for me to offer the business to them, or you know, that I didn't think that they were valuable customers. So they just ordered when they wanted to, but they didn't want to be a bother, you know. So assumptions can happen on both sides if we're not clear. And so I know that the point that Imie was saying we could bring up is clarity of communication, which we're happy to have a coach here in communications as well. So I just wanted to add that part, the way it can be taken by others.
That's a very good point, and that thank you for reminding me, because that was the point of my topic. Is we say a lot of things, but nothing. I teach that to people. It's like sometimes we say a lot of things that really means that doesn't mean anything. You know, it's like we talk. It's like, what is the point? Because I'm the kind of person, I'm the kind of person that if there's no point to the conversation, I just leave or I just tune out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I just tune out. If there is no point to the conversation, I tune out, and it's like, okay, I can be rude sometimes and say, I'm sorry, I got to go somewhere. I can't take this conversation. I'm like, talk to you later, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you got to be direct with me. So that's another personality, understanding your customer, so that if you know your customer and you've done your homework, you can speak their language and kind of like gauge, is this person kind of person that, you know, you can talk forever and then you finally find the gold, or is the person who is just like, okay, give it to me. If you want something, give it to me. Talk to me.
Yes, that's to be there for them and not for us, right? So
Yeah.
I'd love to hear from a couple others on the call who would like to comment, ask a question about this.
About that, what I learned is if I'm doing that in my professional life, I'm doing that too in my personal life. So it's interesting to look at it in this point of view, in this perspective, because I'm the same person wherever I am. And what is interesting is to see why am I afraid to enroll people? Why is it that I contain myself about that? And well, I don't want to go too profound with that, but one of the answers that I found is I think I'm kind of not sure if people will get value. And it's the same in my personal life and in my professional life. I'm kind of need to be sure that what I will give people will really change something for them, or will really be in a value. So what the path that I'm in is I'm not the one who can judge that, and I cannot judge for them if what I have to offer has a value or not for them. So this is the path I'm on right now, and I think if I continue in this way, I will find my way to enroll people without asking myself at their place if what I have to offer has a value or not. I'm gonna let people decide. It's kind of, I take a decision for them, and I want to go out of this way and just let them decide for them if there is a value in what I offering.
That
That's
makes
very
sense.
profound, Lynn, because that's a sign of respect. And in a spiritual sense, when you allow people to be, you know, sometimes I talk about being to be, when you allow them to be, that's part of allowing people to be. Like our children, it's like you allow them to be. It's just say what you have to say and do, you know, like this is what's going on. And people are at different levels of existence, different levels of entitlement, different level of understanding, different level of communication, different level of havingness. So either they can have it or not have it. Sometimes they may not have it today. They can't see it today. Maybe they can see it tomorrow. So that's why the repetition is. And so that's an awesome perspective, Lynn, is really allowing them to be and have it or not.
And for that, I need to allow myself to be first.
Yes, exactimo. Oh, what a good
Wow. Wow. So it's also ties in with what we've been talking about, being considerate and kind with people, because that's what being considerate and kind with others and with ourselves too. So we have a couple more minutes left. I know that Imie and I both have an announcement to make. Did you want to share our events coming up? Both of our events coming up on this call?
Yeah, before we do that, I'd like to hear from Carla. Did you want to say something, Carla?
No, I would just say,
okay.
I want to hear
I'd also love to know what Carla and Kareem think, but
Yeah,
they've been offered multiple possibilities of talking, and we were going to allow them to be. So
yeah.
I like what people have been saying today. It's just, it is sometimes that is so scary of offering your pitch. You can walk around the topic so often and post so many things on LinkedIn, Facebook, things like that. But to actually talk about your pitch, I think is the most scary thing possible, because you don't want to be, you want to be found as credible. You want to be found as educational, interesting. And I think I have that fear. It's like, oh, what if I pitch and they don't like what I want to give them, and that fear is huge. So, but it's that you have to, it's going back to the brain, you have to get hold of those thoughts. That is not true. It is not absolutely true, and turn it around to the opposite. Right. So
isn't it the fear to be rejected?
Yes.
Yeah. That is
Awesome.
so true.
Awesome. So Charlotte and I has been so busy, and as you can imagine, we're also coaches and leaders. So I have my 10x Your Sales Masterclass is coming up on October 19th to 23rd. So if you know anybody, this is my pitch. If you know anybody, send it my way, and they can sign up. I'll share the link to sign up. And then on Monday, I am going to do a quick mini sales workshop. So if you haven't attended my 10X class, you can attend that. It's at 10 a.m. on Monday. If you know anybody who could benefit from knowing a few tips to really get immediate results, Monday at 10 a.m. And then I know Charlotte have,
Yes, I've also been very busy, and we were both launching everything at the same time. But Monday, I'm starting my first course on networking. It's offered at 11 in the morning in English and at 1 o'clock in the afternoon in French. There's 5 live sessions, and it's recorded, and it's created to be interactive. So if you register now, whether you attend live or not, you'll be on the group for the next course because it's going to be offered again. So it becomes a networking event. And I have people promoting it in different parts of the world. So it should be really interesting. It starts on Monday with a group coaching. And I posted the link on the group. So I'm aiming for 10 to 20 participants, and I'd love to see you there. And if you invite people, then that way other people will meet new people too. So I'd love to answer any questions if there are any. Yeah, that's it. So I'll pass it over to Imie to help us. Do you have anything to add to close this call today?
well, it's been a very, very exciting week. I hope you guys learned a lot this week. Next week, we have more exciting things. We're going to talk about influencing, how to create influence, being an influencer. I know it's a big word out there, but we are becoming an influencer. Like, you know, look at Carla. She's like in demand, you know.
And you know what I want to say about that is that I really have been lacking on creating daily posts. So that's just having my actual profile. I was thinking about this last week. I said, I really haven't been consistent in doing daily posts or daily. I thought, what would happen if I did
on top of that you were
daily?
Consistent? Yes.
Massive help.
Because it could just last a while, and then you wouldn't benefit from the second wave of that. Awesome. Yes, exactly. So we'll be talking about mastering influence next week, and we hope you all have a great weekend, great long weekend for most of us. And take care. Have a great day. See you on the group.
See you.
Bye, everyone.
Have a great
Thanksgiving.
day.